Now, friend, this is family talk right here because sometimes we don't have family to have this talk with. So, welcome. How do you know you're picking the right person? I mean, we want to make this lifetime commitment, but how do you know that that's the right person? Do you know that whoever that you're choosing to be with, that this is a person that's either going to have influence in your life or over your life, and sometimes both? Also, when we are looking at the people that we're choosing to pick, is this a surface picking, friend, fam? Because if it is, we are already messing up on our choices, because now when it comes to our purpose, how does this person play in with our purpose? So this video is going to be used as a tester to kind of give you an indication if you already got a good thing going with somebody, or if you need to be looking for somebody else. Because if you married or with somebody, this is a whole nother something else, but you can still listen because it's part of preparation and being a better partner and having a better relationship. So come on, grab your pen and piece of paper, because we're going to go ahead and get this crack-a-lacking. And so what we're going to be discussing deeper into this is deeper understanding. You will have understanding on how to gain spiritual sensitivity. So that's one. And also, you'll develop an eye to recognize the treasure that you hold. Because, friend, when you recognize the treasure within you, you're not going to be all fast to throw yourself out to the swine like, I know you love me, because swine don't value jewels. So it's like we got piggish people out there that don't even recognize their own value. So it's like, but we can't expect them to recognize our value, and this is where we learn to keep it walking. But this is the beginning of us getting started with this family talk on knowing if you got a good thing. Truly a good thing. And so you want to know if you got the right person. So our problem is, one, we're looking to be in a relationship if we're already not in a relationship, but that relationship, if we are in a relationship, hasn't grown to the next level because for some strange reason it has not done so. Not saying that you got to force it, because it's a reason for everything. So the problem is here, we're looking to be in a relationship, and the other problem is that it's slim pickings out there. The benefit in seeing it as it being slim pickings, friends, is that especially if you're looking like there's nothing out there in a dating pool, well, that's giving us an indication that we're not desperate. So, hey, hugs, friend, you're not out there desperate, because now you're choosing quality over quantity, because there's a whole bunch of stuff out there. You don't want all that, friend. You don't want all that. So in a study in Proverbs, if you've been looking at Proverbs since we've been doing this a few videos ago, we've been talking about Proverbs and have been doing it a whole month because it was going to change our mind and we're going to experience that change. But if you hadn't started back then, you still start today, friend. That's not stopping you. But on Proverbs 19:22, I use the NIV version. What a person desires is unfailing love. Better to be poor than a liar. Now, we got to sit and let that marinate for a minute, because first of all, we don't want that to be us, because we are looking for unfailing love. But in seeing that whole lying situation, friend, that's not a good look. So we don't want to be liars. And it's even worse if we hook up with liars, because that sends our expectations in a place where we eventually feel like crap. And ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So we don't want to be liars, and we're not looking for liars. So in seeing that we have this problem here as far as relationships, and then you have people desiring unfailing love. So how do we go about experiencing that? Well, here we have the solutions. Okay, we had the problem in one bubble. Now we got the solutions in another bubble. The solutions here is, one, learning about love. The second thing is gaining spiritual sensitivity. Because, baby, let me tell you, that spiritual sensitivity, and we ain't talking about sensitive to all spirits. There's a specific spirit that we're going to be sensitive to because it's connected with love. And the other thing is learning to trust in God. Get your pen and piece of paper, friend, because these notes going to come in handy. So with this learning about love, let's first look and see what the scriptures have to say about love. Friend, this ain't no thing where we're sitting here getting beat upside the head with these scriptures and the whole guilty situation. Ain't nobody got time for that. And I swear every single time, somebody got to make some noise. But that doesn't matter because we staying focused and we talking about love. They can make all the noise they want to. We staying focused, friends. So we're going to go to 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7. This is giving us an example of what love looks like. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Now, what I paid attention to, this is why we want to study the Bible, because in listening to other people talk, like in growing up, I always heard that God was an angry, vengeful, jealous God. Well, I do find that interesting as far as in how this description goes, because the end that is, it has love is not easily angered, and when you experience all of that in there. So here they want to put God in this box like he is this, he is this. Now here we have this whole description on what love is. Now, friend, it's connected with God. So when we are getting to know love intimately through experience, when you reread this, friend, not only do you experience this thing, you observe and see this thing transforms you into that. It's a process, friend. This is why it's a walk. It's not no run where we running super duper fast and trying to get through this. No, this is a process because this gives us time to be able to look around. And as we're going through this marathon, have an opportunity to actually see what's around us and not just running. Because we're in this for the long haul. So when we experience these things and connect with this, the transformation comes with the renewal of the mind. Friend, when we learn to think differently about love, our desires, ourselves, and other people, this changes what we actually want for ourselves, because we're not just looking at ourselves sexually. But that's an indication, because when we are, because I hadn't planned on saying that and have no clue where that came from, but it was meant for me to say, because when we are desiring stuff from the flesh, it puts a blocker there. And when you're only wanting someone sexually, it throws you off. One, you're minimizing what the person actually has to offer you. Because if you're only looking at them one way, they have all this stuff to offer you, but that's all you want. So it's like, if that's all you want and that's all they're giving you, missing a whole lot more. Now that can be on a good thing or on a bad thing, because by getting up in there, you probably make that person even worse. So it's a good thing that my next thing that I'm talking about, that even though I didn't have that sexual part in my notes, we have that situation with love, and in reflecting on that, because friend, we have to learn how to reflect on this scripture, on this word. Actually think a little bit deeper about what we're reading and not just skimming through it like, bam, okay, I read it. This is some love making here, friend. We're talking about love, and this is the part of the process of making love. And so in that whole description that I read in, what was that, Philippians 4 13 through 7, whatever the number of that I had and said, and looking deeper at those particular aspects of love, friend, I realized, one, you need help, and two, you need wisdom. And in reflecting on Solomon, because Solomon, boy, that's an interesting brother. But in reflecting on Solomon was at this place where he was intimate with love. And it was in the book of the Song of Solomon. Boy, you first crack open the Song of Solomon, because he's talking about maybe in the Proverbs or something, to consider wisdom as your sister. And in thinking about this whole sister situation and looking in the Song of Solomon, because you read Song of Solomon like, I didn't even know this type of writing was up in the Bible like that. Like, boy, you talking about all these body parts and it's all succulent and supple and like makes you want a piece of that. And that's the point. And in seeing his intimacy with wisdom took me on a number of things, because here we have the situation of looking at wisdom as your sister, and it's coming to relationships. When we're first starting off these relationships, if we actually are considering these people as family, male or female, however, because this is both. I mean, when you find a wife, you find a good thing, baby. This is about preparation, because even for the man who's looking for the wife, baby, this is in you preparing and keeping your eye on God, because God will show you what your wife looks like. And it's not a thing where you're constantly, is that her? Is that her? Is that her? Even with us ladies, the minute a man be like, girl, you wifey material and I love you, oh my God, is he the one? Play this video back if you need to. Let it play all the way through. Take time to process it and take notes, because I guarantee you it's going to help you out. And so when we are looking at Solomon and how he breaks down, on one hand, looking at wisdom being a sister, and on another hand, there's like, whew, this heat, baby. And this heat and how he is discussing her. And it's like, oh, okay, you got love letters for that boo-boo, huh? But then when it comes to him discussing love, he saying, if you're not ready for it, baby, don't even crack it open. Don't even get it started. And this is a part of wisdom. But then we have later on down the line, when he get all these women, it changes the game. He ain't talking all that sexy talk, because I feel like by the time we get to all these women, it could honestly be both of them. But by the time we get to all these women, it then got boring, and now I got to come up with all these different ways to make it interesting to me, and it then came up with so many different ways, it got disgusting. And that's probably written somewhere else, but up in the Bible, we ain't getting all that intimate talking thing after all these women. Because I feel like in some of these parts in Proverbs where he's talking about it's better to be somewhere else than in the house with this nagging woman. Well, in thinking deeper about that, it's like, now, was she nagging at first when you first picked her out? Or was it a situation where you done got so caught up in your own foolery that you ain't even pay attention to what's been going on with this woman, and you just been lying and lying and lying and promising her this and promising her that? Now she nagging you. Now she all up in your face, and you done came up with the proverb, it's better to be in the corner or something than to be in a house with a nagging wife, because you had to sit your behind in that corner and realize that. And so when we are processing these things of what's being said, we're reflecting on our own relationships, reflecting on the decisions that we chose to make, and now in seeing how being intimate with wisdom, maybe that's an indication that he ain't gonna make no more noise. How about that? Good thing. So maybe this is like an indication of like wisdom is letting us know who we need to be looking out for, who we need to leave alone, because now we have developed this intimate relationship with wisdom. So Solomon. So here we have Solomon, and in this situation with the women, and seeing how this changes. And it also has me thinking about Adam, the Adams. Before that man went to naming her Eve, let us not forget that they were one, and her name was Adam. I'm just putting like Adam 2.0 because she was like the other part of him, but that was oneness. And seeing what Adam and Eve, Adams number 2.0, what they show is lack of communication with God, lack of communication with each other, and lack of looking at the oneness. Yes, I'm looking at you because, and thinking about this deeper, right? Before we even go out in the world, get all fresh and good looking for that whoever it is we looking for. We need to get the masculine and feminine within ourselves in alignment first. This is just my opinion. This is just how I've been observing things. But I see individuals who have problems, whether it's problems with the masculine self or problems with the feminine self, that is reflected in their relationships outwardly. That whole cup running over, do you want your cup to run over with the goodness of God, or do you want your cup to run over with what you thinking? All about you, how you feel stuff should go. It's going to be drying a little bit. So if we allowing God to let our cup run over, it continuously flows. This is why we want to start that dripping. Get that, sit up under his faucet and start that dripping today. Because this is a love experience that's not only going to change us, it's also going to change our relationships, how we see relationships, how we value relationships. Like, man, oh. So studying Christ. Now, there are a whole bunch of other examples as far as in the flesh, how we are reflecting on this in the flesh. But in looking at Christ, Christ gives us a different perspective. Christ is love in the flesh. So all of those descriptions that we read as far as love is patient, love is kind, when we study Christ, one, we see how Christ is in dealing with all those different people. Now, he was a roasting brother, because he was roasting the crap out them Pharisees, but he was a roasting brother. But in seeing how he dealt with the people and having this relationship with the people, man, that was, I keep saying, it's a whole nother level of customer service, because it wasn't just customer service. These are family. These are people that you like, you empathize with them, you feel them. A lot of us use that word like empath today. Christ was the greatest empath. Could you imagine the pain and the burden of people? I mean, sitting there listening to somebody for like 10, 15 minutes just go on and on and on and on and on and on about something that's heavy within itself. And we talking about a world of people and people who ain't even here yet. And he done picked up on all these people, past, present, and future. That's a heavy load. But yet at the same time, and him being love and him wanting to walk with you, his yoke is easy and his burden is light. This is how we get to know him, because think of in walking in the world. I got the world on my shoulder. Everything is so heavy. Christ's burden is much lighter than the load of the world. Trust. Friend. You can go through video after video after video and look at my personality. Do you think that's easy? That ain't nothing but the Lord, because life be lifing, but the Lord be like, my child, we're going to use life as an example, because I'm going to need you to get your act together and go ahead and do these videos and be in good spirits, because I love you and you got to show how you love these people. Where am I? So in this spiritual sensitivity, this is where we're being sensitive to the Holy Spirit. This ain't all spirits that's all out there and we contacting them and it's something on the outside. No, this is a spirit that is going to be put into you. So fellas, identify with that feminine self right now, because God got something to put into you. And I ain't saying it like in no nasty way, but it's like, get your mind out the daggone gutter and go ahead and get connected with your feminine self, because it's time for you to receive some stuff and birth something. Don't be just expecting a woman to birth something. You here to birth something too, playboy. And so in getting in this alignment, we get in alignment with the Lord. This is where this Holy Spirit is coming in and is helping us to do so. Because just as he walked in the flesh and was able to demonstrate all those things in love, we too can do that. But it's a choosing to do that, and it's a working and a practice, and it's like an everyday thing, friend. It's like you think you got a job going to work or something. It's like, no, this is the real job. That 9 to 5 ain't post thing, because when they ready to let you go, bye-bye. You gone. Deuces. But the Lord, this is deeper than a game, fam. When it comes to joining in this here relationship, you in it for life, an eternity, afterlife. So be it. But it's like once you experience it, because I mean, it's like, it sounds scary when you on the outside and you looking through them gates like, oh no, because I can't see all the way through it. That look kind of scary. But when you up in there, it's a whole party. It's a whole... let me get back to my notes. So in seeing this spiritual sensitivity situation, when you are reading the Bible, every single time you crack it open, you are asking God to open your spiritual eyes so that you can see the wondrous works of his word. Because his word is law. And so you want to see the wondrous works of his laws. That whole thing with the 10 Commandments, yeah, we want to pay attention to some of that, because that's really, wouldn't you like to live drama-free? So, the situation with opening your eyes to his word, these are the keys. These are the real keys, because them keys open up doors, baby, and we getting ready to open up a door to love, to the kingdom. We call ourselves kings and queens. Let's get to being on it. We not walking around here foolishly and with the whole no kings day, because when you out here wicked, they trying to dethrone you. But then when you're out here actually considering the people and following the wisdom from the kingdom, I mean, you're having people trying to dethrone you, but see what good that did. It didn't do no good. It just made the situation even better. It proved God's purpose. It just helped continue that on. Let me continue with this. So when we're reading a word, this is where we're getting wisdom and access to this help. So when we're applying the word, as we start reading it, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to start using this. As we start applying the word, that's how you develop the trust. You got to see what he's saying and then apply the word. You want God to show up and show out in your life? Start applying this word. Now, I got a word for us to apply, because this ain't no thing like, oh, it's like magic, but it kind of is, but it's not. This is part of the relationship. So we're keeping in mind that this is like a renewal of the mind thing. If you do this, you'll get this. We always looking for a result. I got a result for that but. Philippians 4:7, I believe. 4:6. Okay, because I was trying to figure out where I was. And this is from the NIV version. This is a door opener, like your key, your ass seeking and knocking. This is what's going to get the door open for expecting an expectation of God to work. Philippians 4:6, do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. Do that. Okay, we got this in the do this bubble. Where's your pen and piece of paper, baby? Write it down so we can remember what we talking about, okay? Now, if we do that, we get this. Philippians 4:7. And the peace of God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ, who is love, and helps you to think on these things. Okay, that part I added, as far as who is love and he in this relationship. as we are presenting these things to him, we're first recognizing when we are anxious, and instead of choosing to remain anxious, you are saying, I'm feeling anxious right now. What did that say, do? It said, don't be anxious. No, instead, do this. In every situation, pray. Not only are you praying and petitioning, you doing this with thanksgiving. Thank you, baby, when it comes to relationships and you are in need of something from your partner. It doesn't necessarily have to be some material thing, but you just need their presence. You want to snuggle or something like that. They're more willing to do it when you're thankful. It's a genuine thing. It's a part of love. It's a part of relationship. You're not just saying thank you for the thing of, okay, this is what I need to do that make you feel better. Cool, thank you. But you're not in your heart meaning it. God knows the heart. So you want to give him that love. You want to go ahead and like, okay, we're going to try this. Try it with your heart and be genuine. Even if you feel like this is something you want to do and your heart feeling funny about that, ask God to help, because that's one of the part of the prayers and petition. Be anxious for nothing. Don't be worried about post-thank. That's what you do when you feeling like that. So this, the other part. Now, even though you're going to get this, we still need things to think on, because even though we're removing that and God is going to give you this peace, now we need something to put on our mind, because it's part of renewing our mind. Whatsoever is true. This is 4:8. Whatsoever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything excellent or praiseworthy, these are the things that you are to think on. So it's like we can pick out little stuff like, yeah, this may be true, but is it lovely? Is it this? Is it that? Is it that? So it's like this is helping you. Okay, if anxious thinking looks like this, and now it's like, okay, Lord, this is what's going on. I give you this thinking. This is what's happening. And thank you. Thank you for helping me out with that. Thank you for taking that from me and replacing it with what it is that you want me to see or desire, or whatever have you, whatever your prayers and petitions are. This is what you're expecting. You're expecting this peace that's beyond understanding. And then now you're working to think something else. You're working to put purpose to your thinking. Baby, if you need something to be put on there, keep reading, keep praying, keep going in this walk in a relationship. And this is a thing that goes daily, every single day. So as we're doing this every single day, this is what changes our mind. This is what changes our desire. This is what shifts our heart. So as we're experiencing love, we're also being transformed in and through love. So the more sensitive that you become to God, the more sensitive you are to know what to be sensitive about as far as people. Because you'll have people manipulating, people lying, people doing this, that, and the other. And it's you're listening more to the spirit and the word that you've been feeding the spirit than you are to them. And it's not like we're not listening to the people, but it's like you are working on heightening your spidey senses for the Lord. Not for these people, not because you're trying to get something that you've been wanting. You know how to attract it, and we want to take our time and gain this sensitivity where we know his voice. So immediately when he's telling us no, when he's telling us go say something to him, because it's different scriptures in the Bible that's talking about relationships and how they know a person is right. This is how you go about seeking these things and including God in your prayers, in your relationship decision making, because he's all about relationships. And so the more we trust in God, the stronger our desires become for him. And so now we're in this relationship with him, and we're in the habit of being in this relationship with him. You're not just going to be doing anything all willy-nilly, because now you value your relationship with what you have with God. So then when it comes to hooking up with somebody else, they got to value that too, because that's where this equally yoked thing comes in, that it ain't just that y'all need to be the same religion. Nah, baby, it's much deeper than that, because you can still be in the same church, the same temple, the same mosque, the same whatever. And just because you all are connecting with the same God doesn't necessarily mean that you see eye to eye, that you're able to help each other grow, that you're able to put into each other's purpose. So if we're looking at the Adams, Adam number 1 and 1.2 or whatever, let's reflect on how their relationship went and how we want to be in alignment with God first and be used to hearing his word, because there'll be times where we can forget what he says. But this is why in having this relationship every single day, because when your parent ever told you, if your parent ever told you, that's stranger danger, when they started going through and talking to you and walking with you and pointing out different things to be aware of, as you were going with them and walking with them, you were starting to see, okay, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. And even though you didn't understand everything what they said, you still trusted them because you know that they loved you and they would never steer you wrong. This is another reason why we don't want to be hooked up with a liar, because you'll never have that knowing, and your foundation will always be shaky. And friend, it's not just a liar, but we're going through the Proverbs and not only finding out the type of women that we shouldn't be or be around, we're also looking at the type of men that we are considering and having in our circle, and who's willing to square up with us. I'm just talking mess. And so we want to include God in on this transformation, because when it comes to the time when we are surrendering to someone else, you want them to be surrendered to the Lord as well, because you knew what it takes to go through that transformation of love and how it transformed you to be more loving to others. Because if you're getting with somebody who doesn't even understand that and just treat you any kind of way, no, baby, no. So becoming sensitive to the Lord and going through this love walk and seeing what love is about. This is how you really go about finding your good thing, how you really go about preparing for that good thing, and how you really go about being that good thing. Because you didn't walk the walk and you can talk the talk, and because you're being it. I love you. God loves you even more. Find out why and experience it, because it's a life changer, friend. I promise you. Like, share, and subscribe. Until next time.